there it is. I hit the center field. Pete Rose passes Ty Cobb on the all-time hit list with 4,192. Synergy Field, the home of Cincinnati Reds, was electric after Pete Rose passed Ty Cobb for the most hits in MLB history. Pete Rose was one of the greatest players to ever play in the game of baseball. He could possibly even go down as the greatest hitter of all time. But what some people may not know is that Pete Rose is banned from the MLB because he was caught betting on the games he was playing. I'm here to tell you that this ban should be lifted immediately and Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame ASAP. This speech is important to me because Pete Rose was one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest player to ever play. And he's not in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He's banned from the game of baseball. That's not fair to him. I don't think it's fair to the fans either. Pete Rose should 100% not be banned from baseball because what he did is not illegal anymore. Sports betting is legal in almost all of the states in the U.S. Also, there are other players in the MLB or previous years that have physically cheated to make themselves better or to better themselves or the team, and they get a slap on the wrist. They get a suspension or a fine. They don't get banned. Who gets banned? The first and most obvious reason why this ban should be lifted is because sports betting is now legal in almost half of the states. Before I get into that part of it, though, I'll just start by stating that sports betting was prohibited in 1980 to 2018, which means that it was illegal when Pete Rose played the game. But shouldn't this be something he should get in trouble with the law, not baseball? He shouldn't get banned from baseball for something that he did. You know, it wasn't against baseball's rules that you can't bet on the games. But now ESPN states that as of March 26, 2020, sports betting is legal in 21 states with introduced bills, but not quite passed in 26 states. So there are 21 states are passed, but there are other states that have introduced a bill to pass sports betting, but they're not passed quite yet. Some of these states have even made it easy to do on your phone. Yes, you can go on your phone. You can place a bet right from your smartphone of any sport, almost any sport you want. You can bet on it. I guarantee it. Not to mention, Pete Rose was betting on his team to win. He was not throwing games and betting on the other team to win just so he gets his money. He was that confident in his team that they were going to win, so he bet on it. He did not physically change the game of baseball, unlike some of the other cheaters, like I've mentioned, steroid users. Steroid users is one of them. One of the worst time periods for the game of baseball was in the late 90s and early 2000s. This was the era of the long ball, or should I say, the steroid users. Performance-enhancing drugs, known as steroids, are a way athletes increase their strength and athleticism by inserting this drug into their bodies. This is against the rules in almost any professional sport known to man. And if you get caught using performance-enhancing drugs, you're going to get suspended immediately, and you're going to get fined. Baseball players were injecting themselves with steroids to become faster and stronger. People who use steroids cheated because they used something to make them better at the game of baseball that did not take talent. No, inserting a drug was not skillful. You just stuck yourself with a needle and you got stronger and faster. These players were taking steroids and mashing home runs left and right, which is not fair to the other players who did not cheat. Little did they know they were going to eventually get caught. And when they did, it was going to be a long wait before they could come back. But at least they got to play again. Players that have been caught using steroids have received many fines and suspensions to the game of baseball, but never banned. There is a major list of players that have been suspended from baseball for an amount of games, and some of those players are now getting close to being inducted into the Hall of Fame. One of those players is he holds the all-time home runs record, Barry Bonds. He's been on the list of the Hall of Fame for the past couple of years, almost getting in every time. And he's famous for using steroids. He got caught. There's a big controversy. but he didn't get banned from the game. He got suspended, he got fined, and now he's even being close to being in the Hall of Fame. Players that were caught using this drug have received a second, a third, or even a fourth chance to come back and play the game that they loved. These players went against the rules of the MLB to make themselves better, but still got the chance to play again. How is that fair to Pete Rose, someone who bet for their team to win? He was that confident in the team, he'd bet on them to win every time. But he gets banned, and those guys that use steroids to make themselves better did not get banned. He has never physically cheated the game to better himself like the Houston Astros did in 2017 World Series. This last point is easily the most frustrating thing to ever happen in sports, in the game of baseball for sure. At the end of 2019, a pitcher from the 2017 World Series champions, the Houston Astros, came out and said that the Houston Astros used a system to relay signs from the outfield to the hitter of what pitch was going to be thrown. Now, if you don't understand what that exactly tells you, that's basically like in football, the defense knowing what play is coming from the offense. The exact play. Move by move. The exact play, move by move. This started a huge investigation that came to the conclusion to the Astros being guilty of stealing signs during the 2017 playoffs. This sign-stealing scandal could possibly go down as one of the biggest scandals in sports history. The staff and players used a relay system to the hitters to let them know what pitch was going to come. This could have very well won them the 2017 World Series, but it did, for sure, increase their chances. This has been the most recent cheating scandal in sports and could go down as one of the biggest. Many suspensions and fines were thrown out left and right. A lot of the players were fined and the staff was suspended. The general manager, I think, was suspended for a year. Same with the coach. But nobody was banned. Not one person was banned from the game of baseball. They got a slap on the wrist. But here's Pete Rose, who bet on his team to win, and now he's banned from baseball and can't get in the Hall of Fame because of it. These 3 points are the reasons that Pete Rose should not be banned from baseball and should be inducted into the Hall of Fame pronto. What he did was illegal at the time, but did not bet against himself, and it is also now legal to do so. So once again, he did not bet against himself and throw the game. He was always confident, he thought his team was going to win, so he bet for himself to win the game. And now sports betting is legal in half the states, and it's just going to keep on increasing. Almost, I think every state is eventually going to be legal to sports bet. He physically didn't cheat, he didn't use steroids, and he didn't steal signs like the Houston Astros did. And the Houston Astros got a World Series out of it. What does Pete Rose get out of it? He's the all-time hit leader. Nothing. He gets banned. Pete Rose deserves a shot to lift the lifetime ban because he could be hands down one of the greatest hitters of all time. Thank you.